Here's an important instructions given to Jesus, Michael of Nebadon, before his incarnation on Urantia. Enjoin your associates to make no images or other likenesses of yourself in the flesh. See that nothing potentially idolatrous is left on the planet at the time of your departure. This directive was part of the pre-bestowal instructions given by Emmanuel, the union of days who speaks for the Paradise Trinity, before Jesus' incarnation. So how do we understand this instruction? 1. Context. It was given to Jesus for his earth mission. This instruction was directed specifically to Jesus and his immediate associates during his lifetime on earth, not to future generations, and not to students of the Urantia Book today. The concern was that during or shortly after Jesus' life, people might turn physical images, writings, or relics into objects of worship or idolatry, as had happened many times in religious history. So the instruction was, no statues, no portraits, no writings carved in stone, nothing permanent that could become a fixed object of veneration. This was to prevent early idolatrous worship of the man, instead of understanding the meaning of his life and teachings. 2. The principle behind the command. Avoid idolatry. The core principle here is not about images themselves being bad. It's about the risk of turning material representations into objects of worship, which distracts from the true spiritual experience. Think of how crosses, statues, icons, relics, and holy sites have often become ends in themselves. People have worshipped the image of Jesus rather than living his teachings. The Urantia Book's concern is to help people move beyond static religion and into personal spiritual experience with God, as Jesus taught. 3. Modern applications. Are reverent images wrong? No, as long as the intention is right. Art can be used to uplift, teach, and inspire, not idolize. The Urantia Book itself uses vivid language-based imagery to help us visualize celestial realities. That's not idolatrous because it serves the spiritual message. Creating reverent, symbolic, or cinematic depictions of Jesus' life, teachings, and mission can actually help people understand who he really was, especially for those who are just discovering the Urantia Book or exploring deeper spirituality. The problem isn't the image, it's how it's used.
Jesus was instructed not to leave writings or images during his life to avoid early idolatry. This was a protective measure for his immediate mission. Today, if images or videos are used to teach, not worship, and to inspire spiritual growth, they are not inherently idolatrous. Intent matters. So does the spirit behind the work. The problem with religious art, not that it exists, but what it depicts. The Urantia Book critiques misleading depictions. From 141, Section 3, Paragraph 6.
These paintings of the Christ have exerted a deleterious influence on youth. He did not pose as a mild, sweet, gentle, and kindly mystic. His teaching was thrillingly dynamic.
This is not a blanket condemnation of imagery, but a warning against distorting Jesus' personality, making him seem weak or passive, creating unrealistic or idolized portraits that replace spiritual growth with visual fixation. At Tales of Urantia, we don't create images of Jesus for worship or icons. We create them to reflect truth, as revealed in the Urantia Book. This isn't the soft, pale Christ from stained glass windows. This is the strong, olive brown-skinned man who walked the dusty roads of Palestine, the Son of God and the Son of Man, who laughed with his friends, stood firm before injustice, and lived a life so powerful it changed the course of a universe. We follow what the Urantia book actually says, not just about what he taught, but how he looked, how he moved, how he carried himself. We're not inventing Jesus. We're translating revelation into imagery, faithfully, reverently, and historically grounded, not to be worshipped, but to awaken something real in you, a deeper curiosity, a wider hunger for truth, a more personal encounter with the Master himself.